Port-au-Prince. It's devastating. It's just devastating. I can't believe what's happening.
This is an important moment for the University of Pennsylvania and for the Graduate School of Education here. We are actually the first team to go in post-crisis after the hospital of the University of Pennsylvania's crisis intervention medical team. So it's a unique moment for us to make a contribution early on and to really think about carefully what would be the role of a graduate school of education at an Ivy League school in terms of intervening at such a critical moment in Haiti's history. The team that we have assembled consists of 2 doctoral students, a master's student, and myself. So I'm faculty at the Graduate School of Education, and one of my areas of expertise is international applied development research. Laura Colket, who's a doctoral student in our educational leadership program, fluent in French, with a background in educational leadership. Wagner Marseille, who's a recent graduate of our mid-career doctoral program and who is an assistant principal in Lower Merion, Haitian-born, fluent in Creole and French, with a wealth of experience running schools. And Ralph Bouquet, who's a master's student in our Teach for America program and a Teach for America teacher, who has a very interesting background in public health. And we've assembled the team in order to be able to go in and meet with people in ways that make sense, both from a leadership standpoint as well as from a cultural standpoint.
We are walking on our way to a school right now in David's village. The original school was a couple houses down and completely collapsed, so this is now their school.
One of the phenomena is that people post-crisis have the country in crisis in mind, and there's an influx of resources. And we've waited strategically to go in at this moment, both to resist that kind of immediate knee-jerk response, but also to have time to create a foundation of partnerships and relationships so that we can think strategically about alliances on the ground in Haiti, and so that we can insert ourselves in ways that are dictated actually by people in Haiti, rather than us deciding what they need, which is a very typical approach to this kind of post-crisis intervention. But really that redevelopment has to be organic and coming from the people who have a wisdom of practice in country.
There are about 600 people living on this island. In these huts here. There are about 150 children, and there's no school on the island, so no one in here has ever attended school. These children don't have school.
What we've been spending the past few months doing are building relationships with people in various places. So not only in Port-au-Prince, but in Lacaille and Elevache, and places where there are small samples of the kinds of schools in our network. So rural schools, urban schools, the sort of hybrid, emergent kinds of communities post-crisis. And we're trying to build networks of experts and networks of leaders so that we're able to actually move ourselves into the infrastructure in a way that can allow us to have a kind of partnership that's sustainable.
This is in downtown Port-au-Prince, and again, the Haitians have said that the Palace of Justice was destroyed because no justice was ever pursued for them here.